let me introduce another good friend of the program from a long way away. Jean Lin, I think, is in Taiwan. It must be an ungodly hour. Thank you for joining us. Who are you, where are you, and what's your Don story?
Hi, everyone. I'm not sure, can you hear me?
We can, you're
Hi,
lovely.
Heidi.
Hello, Jean.
Hi, Heidi. Hi, Jean. Hi, Jim. How are you? I'm so glad to participate in this session. And I feel so good when I hear Roy talking about his story, because obviously we're on the same class and I haven't seen him for such a long time. Hi, Roy. We always call you Prince Roy when we were in school, but you didn't know that. My story actually was quite similar to Roy, but in a very different way. And it shows us how thoughtful Don is, because if he pressed me in class, like he pressed Roy and asked me to speak, he's gonna lose my friendship forever. So he didn't choose to do it that way. That was 30 years ago, and in the same class. And after 2 papers, he graded me well. I never spoke a word in class. I was just from Taiwan. I know nothing about America. After class, he actually, in his loud voice, and he tried to speak softly, but in his loud voice, he said, "Miss Lin." And I was like, what's going on? And he said, come here, come to my office. I just want to know a little more about what you think. And he said, why don't you ever, he said, you have a lot of point of view. Why didn't you ever say it in class? And I look at him, I said, well, maybe I'm afraid of you. You're quite scary and intimidating as a professor. He paused for 5 seconds and he looked at me. You know, I swear to God, I think he's gonna kill me or something. And he said to me, "Miss Lin, just be yourself. You're scared of yourself. You're not scared of me. Just be yourself. Who cares?" That phrase, "just be yourself, who cares," I have carried with me for many years. This helped me when I started my own digital business. I look in the mirror and I said, just be yourself, who cares? I carried that to Cannes Lion before I went on a main stage. Just be yourself, who cares? It gave me the courage when the network wanted to ask me to run a 6,000 people company. I look into the mirror, I know I'm scared, but I look in the mirror and I said, be yourself, who cares? That's something that, you know, the influence that Don has on us, beyond his brilliance, is his kindness and his courage and his curiosity. And that influence will never go away because I see that every day still in me. A couple years ago, I bring the top 150 people back to Chicago for our global leadership meeting. And I asked Don to give a speech in that leadership meeting in Chicago. I went on stage and introduced Don. And you know, I'm global CEO of that company, so everybody is scared of me, I realize. But after I gave the introduction, after the speech of Don, one of my colleagues came to me and said, you know, I just realized today, you're so scared of somebody. You're scared of your professor when you're introducing him. And that was quite a moment of realization. The respect that I have for him over the years is there to stay. And that first few weeks when I was in Evanston has shaped so much in me, and it's still in me. My last meeting with Don was when I visit Don and Heidi in their home in Chicago. I brought a trend report that we wrote to Don. I didn't know what would be the conversation would be for that afternoon, but obviously Don is in his best and interrogating me about everything we wrote there about blockchain and token economy. And we spent 2 hours debating that. When I left his home, he gave me a big hug and he said, keep sending me all those interesting stuff. I'm so bored at home. I love John for his kindness, for his intelligence, but I think the most important of all is he taught me authenticity is more important than perfection. And I'm so glad to have a chance to share all these stories with all of you. It means a lot to me. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Jim, for involving me in this wonderful ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Jean. It's beautiful.
Jean, thank you so much. And, you know, just among the themes going through here today, of course, Don's big and scary, intimidating, but how kind he was. And let me tell you how polite he was. Now, this will surprise you for those of us who've been on the wrong end of something. So you guys send out lots of notes to Don. Now, I cleared this with Heidi beforehand, and we didn't know what was going to happen. And hundreds of notes come in. And Don wasn't, I think it was Heidi's term, Don was gobsmacked. And, you know, it was nice that you were able to do this for him, but what did he then do? He has hundreds of emails coming at him. He sat down and started writing thank you notes to everybody, reflecting back on the day as interacting. My Lord, I mean, this isn't not an emoji, a personal thing. And, you know, I thought in the past 10, 15 years, I had a special relationship with Don. But all of us had a special relationship with Don. For that, we should be grateful.